Okay, here we go. 'Twas the night. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through Scotty's place. A bottle of eggnog shoved into Scotty's face. So, 'Twas the Night is a 2001 Disney Channel original film starring Bryan Cranston and Josh Zuckerman. And it tells the tale of a uncle and nephew duo who stumble across Santa Claus, and when they accidentally knock him unconscious, decide to finish his route for him, although Uncle Nick, played by Bryan Cranston, has ulterior motives. So, this was a Disney Channel original movie. It came out in 2001 and is a holiday staple for me. I find some way or another to watch, either on demand or some way, to watch this movie every year on Christmas Eve, although this time, I'm watching it early, but this is always a fun watch for me. So, yeah. You got Bryan Cranston from Malcolm in the Middle. You have Josh Zuckerman, who would be in the movie Sex Drive. And we have Tori Higginson, who would be on Stargate Atlantis in the future. She plays the mom in this. So, we start with Josh Zuckerman's character, Danny, who didn't realize that it's Christmas Eve, so now he needs some money, so he scams his little brother, right? And his little brother doesn't mind it because he gets some stuff, but his parents say, no, they're the wagging finger types, you can't do that stuff. So yeah, don't scam your younger siblings, folks, don't do that. But, and then he was forced to take all the stuff back. I would have given the little brother the stuff, and here, you can still have, he's like, I wanted the stuff. Here, you can have the stuff, no charge, it's yours, no money. After I got caught and everything, I guess. I wouldn't try to get caught, but But, yes, so, yeah, he's in trouble for that. And then Uncle Nick is on the run after scamming some people out of money, and he owes them money when he's on the run. Dresses up as Santa Claus, and I like to think this is like a PG version of Bad Santa, I guess. I don't know. But he's on the run, and he decides to go home. And so there's a couple of things. I love this movie. A couple of things that always bug me. So Uncle Nick shows up, surprise them, because he's trying to hide out from the cops. He didn't tell them, or not the cops, but these nerds and their bully named Elliot. And I do like when, just Santa Claus, he goes, hey, people waiting for you. Well, thank you, Elliot. How you know my name? Well, I'm Santa. Makes a point. Yeah, so, because the parents are both doctors, they get called away, and Uncle Nick is reading Twas the Night Before Christmas, and when he says, children were nestled snug in their beds, the dad, who is against everything Uncle Nick related, is like, you know what, that's a good idea, why don't you guys go to bed. And even Daddy, the older one, he's like, you too, Danny, let's go. And Danny gets all mad. I always say this, why don't you just wait till they leave, and then come back out and hang with Uncle Nick? It's not that hard. He's like, well, you have to go to bed. We all hang with Uncle Nick tomorrow. So you just go to your room, wait till they leave, till they're gone, come back out. It's no big deal, right? Sure, it's not obeying your parents, but it's a stupid rule anyway. the dad is disappointed in his brother, which, that storyline never really gets solved. His parents aren't involved with the storyline from this point on until the end. And it just kind of goes away. Like, he has a problem with his brother. And then, at the end of the film, they're just okay. I don't know. There's no real story with that. But, so when the kids are sleeping or whatever, Uncle Nick is emailing someone when it turns out it's the nerds and they're tracing him, so he puts a little virus that'll knock out every computer in a 50-mile radius, which, that's a powerful one. Everyone except for his computer, I guess. And that knocks out Santa's fancy computer and makes him fall on the roof. Danny comes out to see what's going on, and they both get frozen. And Santa Claus has some technology. And I like the technology explain stuff like, how does he carry all those presents around the world? Well, they're shrunk really small. And then he picks up the present, whatever present it is, makes it grow. You can also freeze time. Why don't you ever see Santa Claus? Because he freezes you, and you never see him, How's he get down the chimney? Technology. He goes through. But he knows how to work that little ball thing, but he doesn't know how to work a computer on a sleigh. Apparently the reindeer all had the flu. But here's another thing I have a problem with, okay? Well, he takes and he drags and drops the virus into the trash can. I don't think that's how you get rid of viruses, first of all. And then later, the daughter, after everything's going, the daughter's like, well, okay, what'd you do? He goes, I took a little skull and crossbones and I put it in that little can there. He goes, oh, well, that's a trash can. Well, you trashed it. You can't get it back. I beg to differ. I had a computer once upon a time ago, and anything in your trash, as long as you haven't emptied it yet, you could still have access to. So that skull and crossbones thing, still in the trash. If Santa didn't empty the trash, it's still in there. I'm just saying. Anyway, so Santa accidentally unfreezes them, leading to Santa knocking himself out. And then they decide to Danny wants to keep Danny wants to hand out the presents for Santa, but Nick's like, no. Until he accidentally freezes Danny, and then accidentally sends himself up to the sleigh, and figures out that he can go around and he can steal from the rich people, like a Robin Hood, but he's the poor. From the rich people, take their stuff, and pay off his debts. Smart idea, not very nice, but yes, so he then agrees to go with Danny, and they take off. But, hey, we'll be back before Santa wakes up. But a lone Peter walks in. That's the little brother. He walks in. Screams like a little freaking girl. Okay, and here's my confusion. Alright? How old are these kids? Because the sister says, I remember when I was in the second grade. But then the little brother, 2 minutes later, is like, well, I asked for this when I was in the second grade. How old are you? This kid still talks like this. My Uncle Nick, he has I don't know, maybe he's mentally handicapped, who knows, but he doesn't seem like it. I legitimately thought he was like 6, 8, talking with that kind of words, but I don't know. They've both been past the second grade. That little kid doesn't look like he's older than 8 years old. Which, to be fair, would be the second grade. But, right? I don't know. I always had backs, so I'm not sure. Anyway, she says the sister says she can fix it, but they need a big computer, so you gotta go to a computer store. We get Santa Claus tickling a bunch of gang members because kids movie, and she's able to figure out, you know, how to get them, how to track them and stuff. And meanwhile, Nick and Danny are going around the town in the rich parts, of course. First, Nick's reasoning is, well, you know, they get so many presents. If we get rid of them now, then we'll have a lighter load. But, and really, the cracks start to show when Danny goes down, because she changed, you know, there are certain presents they gotta get. You know, you've been nice, you've been naughty, whatever. And he changes the gift that the kid was gonna get to a punching bag, which is supposed to help him out with stress, but that's just gonna help him train to beat more people up. I don't think that's gonna work the way he wants it to, but you know. And this is where it's kind of like, what took you so long? Potty break, you know, going up and down all the time. You know, and it's like, looking a little lumpy. Cookies and milk all the time, you know. But, well, eventually he catches on and he's forced to give the stuff back. But they go their separate ways, and Danny returns the sleigh to Santa. And, but the nerdy guys and Elliot have tracked Nick down. His laptop is still at the house. So, while covering his face to not be, you know, found out, he inadvertently points to them when he says the address. He points them in the direction, and he's like, wait a minute, that address. And then he ends up showing up to save Santa Claus and the kids. And he shrinks Elliot to a teeny tiny, and they run away. And Santa Claus says he's going to reconsider the naughty nice thing because, you know, apparently there's a gray area. Which I don't know what he's talking about. Because, like, maybe it's not just naughty or nice. There's sometimes naughty, sometimes nice. Like, if you... I don't know, because, like, the kid they had to punch him back, he was naughty 13 times that year. How bad is that? I don't know. But, I should mention that Nick was talking to Danny earlier about a special guitar he wanted when he was a kid, but Santa never gave it to him because he was naughty all the time. And, so, after that, they go to sleep. They got sleep, and then when they wake up, like I said, the dad's just fine with him being there. And then he finds the guitar back there. And here is another problem. I understand he needs to pay off his debts. I understand that. But here's the thing. This may sound selfish, but if I know I have to pay off my debts, but if I finally got the one thing I've wanted since I was a teenager, presumably, and it's right there, given to me from Santa Claus, I'm not going to get rid of something Santa Claus gave me. No. Especially if it's the one thing I wanted since I was a teenager. And that guitar is a pretty good looking guitar. I can't play it, but I do understand, you know, as an adult you gotta make decisions. But I don't know. I always thought that if he sold that guitar off, it would put him back on the naughty list. Because, like, I gave you what you wanted and you sold it off? How dare you? You know, that sort of thing. Like, it never made sense to me. Still doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it's the one thing he always wanted. He proved to Santa Claus he can be a nice person, and you're going to sell off the thing that Santa gave you for being nice. That doesn't seem nice, you know? I just had to say there's a gray area, but I don't know. But that's how the movie ends, you know? Yeah, I like this movie. I think it's pretty good. Bryan Cranston, of course, is pretty good in this. Josh Zuckerman is not bad, and the guy who plays Santa, he's a very good Santa. If I have to nitpick, the kid who played Peter, I didn't see him in anything else after this or before. I think he's the worst actor in the movie. He always sounds like he's whining every time he talks. It's okay, you can shake me down if you want to. It just, no, doesn't work for me. And the sister always comes off as a snotty little brat. Even when, like, she's getting a compliment, who's the supermodel? Like, where's Caitlin? Who's the supermodel? Stop! I know she's supposed to be nice in that, but she comes off as being a little brat. And the parents are non-characters in this, really. And like, they're at the beginning, at the end. They serve no purpose other than for the father to have something against his brother that never gets resolved, and he's just fine by the end of the film because we didn't have time for him to deal with his conflict. So it's kind of like, kids movie, we can't have complex characters, so it's a little bit, yeah. But overall, it's still a fun watch, and like I said, a staple for me every year. So I'm going to have to say that when it comes to 'Twas the Night, I'd say it's pretty good. So what are your thoughts on 'Twas the Night? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Scotty. See you in the next one.